The spectral beast growled, a sound that shook the air. She'd come back. For her daughter. The spirit wolf stood tall, larger than any living creature, her fur shimmering with silver streaks that pulsed like moonlight trapped in motion. Her eyes, glowing eclipse white, locked on the Alpha King with a hatred so ancient it chilled the air. Aurora felt her knees weaken. Mother, she whispered. The wolf turned her head, and for a heartbeat, Aurora felt warmth, gentle, familiar, wrap around her like the hug she barely remembered. Then the moment shattered. The Alpha King snarled and took a step back. This is impossible. I watched her die. I ended her myself. The spirit wolf's lips curled back, revealing ghostly fangs made of pure lunar energy. A deep, resonant growl vibrated through the earth. Kael forced himself up, leaning against a broken tree, blood dripping but eyes blazing. Aurora's mother didn't die for nothing, he rasped. She stayed between your evil and Aurora, even beyond death. The Alpha King's gaze snapped to Kael, rage rippling through him. You insignificant boy. But his words cut off when the spectral wolf lunged. She moved with supernatural speed, silent, deadly. She leaped at the king with claws that sliced through his armor like smoke. He barely deflected her with a blast of dark energy, the collision erupting in a thunderous shockwave that shook the forest. Aurora stumbled, knocked back by the force. Kael caught her even though pain shot through his injured shoulder. Aurora, listen to me, he gasped. You need to run. She shook her head fiercely. I'm not leaving you. You don't understand, Kael said, voice breaking. The Alpha King, he doesn't just want you. He wants what wakes inside you when you're afraid. If he forces your full power out, before you can control it, it could destroy you. The seer stepped forward, eyes darting between Aurora and the ongoing supernatural clash. He's not lying. If the king forces an early awakening, your body won't survive the eclipse surge. Aurora's heart pounded. Then what do I do? The seer swallowed. There's only one way to survive a full awakening. Your mate's power must anchor it. Aurora blinked. My mate's power. Kael froze. The seer nodded gravely. You need Kael to complete the shadow eclipse bond. Without it, you'll die. With it, you'll be stronger than the Alpha King. Aurora and Kael stared at each other, breaths unsteady, the world fading around them. I anchor you, Kael whispered, disbelief and longing tangled in his voice. Aurora's chest tightened. Kael, will it hurt you? He stepped closer despite the wound, eyes softening in a way that made her breath catch. It'll burn, he admitted. It might kill me. She shook her head, tears slipping down. No, we'll find another way. Aurora. His hand cupped her cheek, warm despite the storm. I would die 1,000 times if it means you live. The bond pulsed between them, raw, electric, desperate. But before she could answer, a scream tore through the night. The Alpha King had struck the spirit wolf with a blast of corrupted moonfire, sending her crashing into the earth. The shockwave uprooted trees and sent hunters tumbling. Aurora screamed. Mother! The wolf staggered, her form flickering. She struggled to stand, but could not. The king lifted his hand, gathering a sphere of black lunar energy, aimed straight for the weakened spirit wolf. This ends now, he hissed. The child is mine. Aurora's scream ripped from her soul. Stop! Power surged through her, exploding outward in a wave of silver and shadow. But Kael saw it before she did, and his eyes widened in terror. Aurora, no. If you release that much power now, it will kill you. She didn't hear him. She only saw her mother dying again. Aurora's body lifted off the ground, energy spiraling around her like a cosmic storm. The moon itself darkened. The Alpha King smiled. Perfect. She's breaking. Kael staggered toward her, fighting the wind ripping around her awakening form. Aurora, he shouted, voice cracking. Look at me. She didn't. She couldn't. The power was taking her, dragging her under. Kael forced himself closer, muscles trembling. Aurora, please. If you go any further, there's no coming back. Her body convulsed with light and shadow as the energy built toward a catastrophic release. Kael grabbed her face between his hands. Aurora, breathe. With me. For a moment, just a moment, her eyes flickered to him. Silver. Shadow. Terrified. Aurora, he whispered, foreheads touching. Let me in. Let me anchor you. Let me save you. She gasped, choking on pain. Kael. I don't want you to die. His voice broke. I don't care what happens to me. I only care about you. A sob. And then, Aurora pressed her forehead harder against his. All right, she whispered. Kael froze. I choose you, she breathed. The bond exploded. Dark and silver energy wrapped around them both, spiraling, merging. Their hearts synced, their breaths aligned. The shadow eclipse bond ignited between their souls. And the forest was consumed in blinding light. The Alpha King shielded his face, eyes wide with fury. No. That bond is forbidden. The last thing Aurora saw before the world vanished was her mother's spectral wolf rising one last time. And bowing her head in approval, Aurora felt her soul explode outward. Her power burning through every nerve, every breath, every beat. Her scream tore the sky open. The shadow eclipse bond pulled Kael into the center of the storm with her, anchoring her, tethering her. But the force was too much. Her vision flickered. Kael's face appeared. Straining, sweating, pain splitting through him as he tried to hold the bond stable. Stay with me, he gasped. Aurora tried. Moon above, she tried. But then, everything snapped. A blinding shockwave blasted out of them, ripping through the forest. Hunters flew like broken twigs. Trees cracked. The ground split. And the world went dark. When Aurora opened her eyes, Kael wasn't holding her anymore. Asterisk. She was lying on cold earth, smoke curling around her. Rain pattered softly, gentle now, like the storm had been exhausted by her power. Aurora groaned, pushing herself up. Kael! Silence. Then she saw him. Collapsed on the ground several feet away. Unmoving. Her heart stopped. Aurora crawled toward him, hands shaking. Kael! Kael, wake up. Please wake up. She pressed her ear to his chest. There was no heartbeat, no pulse, nothing. Aurora's breath shattered. Panic clawed at her throat. No, Kael, please don't do this to me. The seer rushed over, dropping to her knees, eyes widening. He took the full force of your awakening. The bond consumed him. Aurora screamed, raw, broken, feral. Her power flared uncontrollably, and then she felt something. A faint mark glowing on Kael's wrist. The shadow mark. Pulsed once. Weak. Fading. Oh, moon goddess, the seer whispered. He's slipping into the shadow veil. Aurora blinked through tears. The what? The seer looked at her, horror tightening her features. It's where souls go when they are neither dead nor alive. Kael is trapped there. If he crosses fully, he will become a shadow, forever. Aurora's chest tightened. No. Can pull him back. I can. No, the seer cut in. Only one thing can bring him back. Aurora froze. What? The seer swallowed hard. You must break the bond. Aurora recoiled. Break it. That will kill him. And not breaking it, the seer said softly, will kill you. Aurora staggered back as the horrible truth sank in. The shadow eclipse bond was unstable. It was collapsing inward. It wanted a sacrifice. Either her or Kael. Aurora felt her breath hitch, her vision blur. Crunch. A sudden, sharp sound behind her. She spun. And froze. The Alpha King was standing again. Blood dripping from his lip, armor cracked, eyes burning with murderous triumph. Silhouetted behind him, Kael's body was floating above the ground. Not by magic, but because a hand of pure shadow had gripped him by the throat. A hand attached to a massive, dark figure rising behind the Alpha King. A creature with Kael's face. A creature made of smoke, shadow, and rage. The Alpha King smirked. Behold, Eclipse Luna. Your bond has birthed him. Aurora shook her head violently. No, that's not Kael. That's not possible. Oh, it's possible, the king whispered. Your power split him in two. His body lies dying. He gestured casually to Kael's limp physical form on the ground. While his shadow self is being reborn as my weapon. The shadow creature, Kael's darker half, snarled. The ground trembled. Aurora, the Alpha King said mockingly. You must choose. Save his body. He motioned to the dying Kael. Or save his soul. He motioned to the shadow Kael, tightening its grip. Aurora choked on her breath. No. Please no. The Alpha King leaned in, voice soft and poisonous. You can't save both. Aurora screamed as the shadow Kael lifted its head. And its eyes, Kael's eyes, locked onto hers. Silver dot haunted that I in pain. Aurora, it whispered. Aurora couldn't breathe. The forest was silent except for the soft hiss of rain and the quiet crackle of dying torches. Smoke drifted in thin white ribbons across the clearing. Kael lay motionless on the ground. Ill. Too still. Aurora crawled toward him, hands shaking so violently she could barely touch his face. Kael? Kael, open your eyes. Please, please, open your eyes. No response. The world blurred around her. The seer dropped beside his body, placing trembling fingers against his throat. Her face went white. Aurora, his pulse is. She never finished. A long, low rumble shook the earth. Not thunder. Not the Alpha King. Something else. Aurora whipped her head up. What was that? The seer backed away from Kael, horror widening her eyes. No, it's too early. You awakened too quickly. Your bond with him isn't stable. Aurora wiped rain from her face, voice breaking. What does that mean? What's happening to him? Before the seer could answer, sound split the air. Not a growl. Not a howl. A deep, echoing pulse, like a heartbeat ripping through the world itself. Kael's body jerked violently. Aurora screamed. Kael! The seer grabbed Aurora's arm. Don't touch him. The bond is reacting. He's caught between. The ground beneath Kael cracked. The air trembled. The torches blew out all at once. Aurora froze. Kael, she whispered. His body lay still. But another sound came from the darkness behind him. A sound like a breath being drawn in. Slow, cold, wrong. Something shifted in the shadows. Something tall. Something shaped like a wolf, or a man, or both. Aurora felt her heart stop. The seer whispered one trembling word. Oh moon goddess, we're too late. Aurora turned. And saw a silhouette rising behind Kael. Huge, smoke-like. Eyes glowing faint silver, flickering like dying stars. Took one step forward. And everything in the forest knelt. The wind. The trees, her own breath. Aurora couldn't look away. Her body locked in place as the figure leaned toward her. Closer. Closer. And then, Aurora. Her name drifted from its lips. Her blood ran cold. Sounded like Kael. But it wasn't Kael. Not completely. Not anymore. Aurora stumbled back, covering her mouth, tears mixing with rain. What are you? She whispered. The figure straightened. And lifted its head fully into the moonlight. But before its face could be revealed, crack. A massive explosion of lunar energy erupted behind Aurora, blinding white and shadow black, cutting her off from the figure, throwing her to the ground. When she opened her eyes, the figure was gone. Kael's body was gone. The seer was screaming her name. Aurora scrambled to her feet, wild with panic. Where is he? Where is Kael? No answer. Just darkness. Just silence. Just the echo of a voice that sounded like him. But wasn't. Aurora's chest heaved as her mind raced. The stranger's silver eyes seemed to pierce right through her, seeing parts of her she had never shown anyone, not even Kael. His presence carried a weight, an authority she didn't understand, yet somehow felt compelled to obey. Kael struggled to rise from the ground, still weakened from the last battle, blood seeping through his torn jacket. He glared at the stranger. "Who are you? Speak." The stranger's lips curved into a faint, knowing smile. "Names are irrelevant for now. But you may call me Soren." Aurora's pulse quickened. Soren. The name sounded familiar, though she had no memory of him. Yet her instincts screamed that he wasn't an ordinary wolf or human. He was something older, something dangerous. Kael's growl deepened. "I don't care what you are. Stay away from her." Soren's gaze flicked to Kael. "Ah, the alpha mate. Loyal. So predictable. But loyalty alone won't save him." Aurora flinched at the words. "Save him from what?" she demanded. Soren's eyes softened, not enough to feel kind, but enough to make her heart skip a beat. "You don't have much time. Forces are moving faster than you realize. And the bond, your bond with him. It's unstable, dangerous, uncontrollable, unless—" He paused, tilting his head slightly, and for the first time, something like urgency filled his voice. "Unless someone guides it." Aurora swallowed hard. "Guides it who?" "You." Soren's silver eyes glinted. "Maybe. Or maybe someone worse is already here, waiting for you to make the wrong choice." Kael's wolf snarl filled the forest. "Enough riddles. Step back or I swear." Before he could finish, a deafening crack split the air. The ground beneath them shook violently, sending Kael and Aurora sprawling. Trees snapped around them, and the forest seemed to shudder in fear. Aurora scrambled to her feet, reaching for Kael. But when she turned, she saw something impossible. From the shadows emerged a massive wolf, far larger than any she had ever seen. Its fur shimmered with a strange silver and black light, and its eyes glowed with the same eerie hue as Soren's. Aurora froze. Her breath hitched. Soren's voice dropped to a whisper just for her. "That is what I warned you about. The one who was never meant to appear. And it has come for you." The wolf advanced, moving with terrifying speed. Its growl vibrated through the very air, chilling Aurora to the bone. Kael tried to shift, tried to protect her, but his wounds slowed him. Aurora stepped forward, defiance igniting in her chest. "Stay back. I won't let it take him." The massive wolf's eyes locked onto her, and for a brief, terrifying moment, Aurora felt an unearthly recognition, a pull in her chest, like it knew her in a way no creature should. Soren's hand shot out, grabbing her shoulder and yanking her back. "Do not engage it alone," he hissed. But it was too late. The wolf lunged. Aurora screamed. And in that instant, everything went white, a blinding explosion of silver and shadow energy that knocked the forest silent. When the light faded, the three of them were still standing, but something had changed. Something was wrong. The massive wolf was gone. Kael's body twitched unnaturally, and Aurora felt a strange sensation in her bond with him, like it was being tugged by another force. Soren's expression was grim. "It's begun. And whatever you think you know about him, it's only the beginning." Aurora's stomach dropped. "Begun? What has begun?" Soren didn't answer. Instead, he stepped into the shadows, watching her carefully, eyes glinting silver. And then, from the darkness, a whisper carried to her ears, a voice she knew but couldn't place. "Aurora, you will choose, and the wrong choice will destroy us all." The forest was eerily. Even the rain seemed to have paused, as if holding its breath. Aurora's heart raced, each beat echoing in her ears like a drum. Kael's body was lying nearby, his chest rising and falling, but she felt the tug of the bond, stretched and pulling her in a way she had never felt before. Something was wrong. Soren stepped closer, his silver eyes scanning her face. "Listen to me carefully, Aurora. What just happened wasn't an accident. That wolf. It's not what it seems. And it wasn't alone." Aurora's hands trembled. Not alone. Then who else is out here? Soren's gaze flicked to the shadows between the trees. There are forces in this forest that predate even the oldest packs. Ones that feed on bonds like yours. And the Alpha King, he's already aware of them. Kael groaned weakly, forcing himself to sit up. Blood stained his shirt, and his wolf form had yet to recover from the earlier assault. Aurora, don't listen to him, he rasped, voice strained. We can handle this, together. Soren's lips tightened into a thin line. You don't understand, Alpha. You may survive, but she's at the center of something far bigger than both of you. Aurora's stomach sank. At the center? What do you mean? Soren took a deep breath, his expression hardening. There's a shadow inside your bond, Aurora. Something neither of you can control yet. It's tied to your lineage. And it's hungry. If it's not guided, if it's left unchecked. He trailed off, his gaze falling to Kael. Aurora shivered. Left unchecked. What happens? Soren's silver eyes met hers, piercing into her soul. It consumes everything it touches. Mate, your pack. Everything. A low growl rolled through the forest. Aurora's blood ran cold. She turned and froze. The massive wolf from before emerged again, stepping silently from the darkness. But this time there were two glowing pairs of eyes behind it, smaller, faster, circling, watching. Aurora's breath hitched. What are they? Soren's jaw tightened. Hunters, but not of this world. They've been waiting. And they came because your bond called them. Kael struggled to his feet, his gold eyes blazing faintly despite his injuries. Aurora, stay behind me. Aurora shook her head. No. I can feel them. They're drawn to me. Soren stepped between them. Exactly. And that's why you need me. I can help control it. If you let me. But you have to trust me completely. One misstep and... He didn't finish. Before he could, the massive wolf lunged forward. Its speed was unnatural, faster than Kael could react. Aurora's heart slammed as it slammed into Kael with bone-crushing force, sending him sprawling again. Aurora screamed and reached for him, but Soren caught her wrist. Not yet. The wolf froze mid-pounce, its glowing silver eyes locking onto Soren. It growled low and threatening, but it did not attack. Aurora's mind whirled. Why isn't it attacking him? Soren's lips curled into a faint, almost grim smile. 'Cause Aurora. It recognizes me. But it doesn't recognize all of me. Aurora's heart stopped. What do you mean? Soren's gaze hardened, silver eyes blazing. I've been waiting for this moment for a long time. But you're not ready to know the truth. Not yet. The wolf let out a deafening howl. The smaller wolves behind it joined, echoing like a chorus of shadows. The forest seemed to shake. Trees snapped under the force, the ground cracking beneath them. Aurora's stomach dropped as the forest spun around her. The bond with Kael tugged violently, pulling at her mind. She could feel something inside Kael reacting, something ancient and dark. Something that had awakened with her power. Soren's voice cut through her panic. Aurora, listen to me carefully. Whatever you feel, whatever you sense, you cannot act alone. One wrong move and... A shadow shot from the tree-line, faster than lightning, bigger than anything she had ever seen. Struck Soren. He vanished. Aurora screamed. Kael scrambled forward, but his injured body slowed him. The shadow moved like smoke, curling around her in a suffocating spiral. She could hear whispers, Kael's voice, her mother's, something else, all twisted together in a cacophony. Aurora's hands glowed with silver and shadow energy. The forest shook again. Her heartbeat thundered in her ears. And then she heard it. A voice, cold and dripping with malice, echoing from in.